I want to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Rita McGuire. I'm the Chief Medical Officer for Wakana, as well as one of the co-founders. And tonight, we're going to discuss a more natural and holistic approach to our health during this pandemic. So we're going to talk about a natural and holistic approaches to our health during this pandemic. So the title is We're at War. We are at war with this coronavirus, and we truly have some recommendations for our defense, boosting our immunity. So welcome guest. Again, you can't control the virus, but you can control the host. Okay, we can control what we are doing, what we're eating, what we're thinking. You know, we can eat well, we can think well, we can exercise, and we can hydrate right now, right? Those are things that we can control, as well as some other things that we're going to talk about this evening. So the coronavirus is the family. This coronavirus encompasses things from a common cold to what we're talking about, you know, right now in this pandemic, a novel virus. Novel meaning that our bodies have never seen it before. You know, it started in an animal, and from an animal, it mutated into humans, and then from humans to humans, it was then transferred. So COVID-19, the CO stands for corona, the VI virus, the D for disease, and then the 19 means that it was identified in 2019. So this coronavirus, the SARS-CoV-2 virus is what you'll hear a lot of, is the COVID-19 virus. So we know a lot about this virus already because we've been dealing with this pandemic for a while. We know that it is a respiratory virus that is spread through either droplets, they're even saying aerosols, as well as fecal oral transmission that we'll talk about. But we know that the factors that make us more likely to contract COVID-19, because listen, guys, this is a novel virus, meaning our body was never, ever has seen this virus. So every single person on this webinar is susceptible to getting COVID-19. I'm not saying that you're going to get COVID-19. We're not saying that, but what we are saying is that every single person is susceptible because our bodies have never seen it. We have no vaccines for it. So some factors that make you more likely to contract COVID-19 is coronary vascular disease, diabetes, obesity, hypertension, age greater than 60, chronic pulmonary diseases like COPD, emphysema, asthma, chronic liver or kidney disease, history of radiation therapy, autoimmune conditions like lupus and fibromyalgia, sarcoidosis and scleroderma, and chronic neurological diseases. So we do know, and what I love about tonight's discussion is that tonight's discussion, I'm trying to attach science with it, with data that we've gotten. I spent a lot of time on webinars that we have to mandate it by our hospitals. So this is real data. Like, I'm not grabbing out of the sky things that I'm going to be telling you that we see a lot of in the media and on Facebook, right? It makes us very anxious when people say things, but we're not sure where their source is. So I'm trying to attach what I say with sources that later on this evening or maybe next week you can do more your due diligence. So the underlying conditions among adults hospitalized with COVID-19, these are the most common. And what I love about this graph is that it breaks it down in age, because you may hear some younger people say, oh, I won't get COVID-19, I'm young, I'm 20. No, these break down the most common conditions or comorbidities, as we call it, as we see in our adult hospitalized patients. You know, one being hypertension. Hypertension is probably the number one comorbidity that we see with folks who are hospitalized with COVID-19. Obesity. Obesity is a big one. And unfortunately, because obesity is so common in the United States, it's really affecting a lot of people during this pandemic. Chronic lung disease. And what we can see with the younger age group is that obesity is the most common finding when we have patients who are young that are hospitalized with COVID-19. Most times, 9 times out of 10, they are obese. Chronic lung disease, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. So then you can also see in the older population, those who are 65 and older, their most common comorbidity is hypertension and cardiovascular disease. So some stats. 71% of those hospitalized with COVID-19 in the United States and 78% of those in intensive care units have these underlying health conditions: diabetes, chronic lung disease, and heart disease. Now, these are stats that came out March 28th from the CDC, and I'm telling you, it is so important, if ever a time in your life for your loved ones to get healthy, the time is now. 25% of those infected with COVID-19 may not show any symptoms. And so that's why we're having such a hard time getting control of this virus. One is being that many people don't even show signs. They are asymptomatic. Some more stats. 60% of US adults have at least one underlying health condition. 60%. And you know what that one underlying condition, health condition in the United States? It's obesity. They did a study, and 399 patients they looked at with at least one additional disease, they had a 79% greater chance of requiring intensive care unit as well as a respirator or both, or dying. So as you can see, when you start to have additional comorbidities on top of obesity, hypertension, diabetes, as you start to add additional disease states, it increases your chance of being on a respirator, being in an intensive care unit, or even dying. Some things that increased odds of severe COVID-19 infection, well, one is being a person over 50. Well, I'm in that age group. So patients over the age of 50 have a 2.5 times more likely chance to progress to a severe case. They looked at 53,000 patients from December 19th to February 19th, and they found that males had a 1.3 times increase in severe illness. Smokers had 2.5 times more increased risk of severe illness. You add on comorbidities like diabetes and hypertension, it increased their odds of severe illness by 2 to 3 times. COPD increased their odds of increasing severe illness by 2.5 to 11 times, and then kidney disease by 2 to 16 times more increased odds of developing severe illness. So we can see keeping our health in check is really, really important. Now, these stats are out of China. These numbers show that 3% of the cases of COVID-19, those people were 80 years and older. 87% were between the ages of 30 and 79. 8% were in their 20s, 1% were in their teens, and less than 1% were 9 years or younger. And we're seeing these numbers in the United States as well. Now, the fatality rate in China was about 2.3%, You'll see later on in the slide, we're looking at a fatality rate here in the US about 0.6, less than 1%, 4.8% in those who were 80 years and older. So those who were older actually, had a higher risk of dying. Those in their 50s was 1.3%. Those in the 40s was 0.4%. Those ages 10 to 39 was 0.2%. And again, 58% of the cases in China were males. So males have a higher chance of fatality and having serious illness with COVID-19. Coronavirus affects every single system in our body. And we'll see, when we talk about the endocannabinoid system, the receptor sites in every organ and gland, it's very protective. But this virus has the potential to affect the cardiovascular system, the kidneys, the liver, the brain, the central nervous system. In COVID-19, this infection, this virus, is associated with a very high inflammatory burden. It's almost like our body is reacting like it's an autoimmune disease. In fact, it reacts just like an autoimmune disease. It has a very heightened, a very hyperactive immune response, inflammatory response to the tissue. So in the heart, we're seeing that folks are getting myocarditis, inflammatory muscle cells, as well as cardiac arrhythmias. It also affects the central nervous system. So you'll see how some folks lose their smell or their taste. This may be an early sign of infection. 30% of patients tested positive for losing their taste and smell. So we know that this virus does affect the central nervous system and the brain. The incubation period. Well, we're noticing that from the time of exposures to symptoms is actually 5 days. That's why here at Roseland Hospital, we're at a race to get results back quicker. Because if a test is done and you're not getting the results back by 8 or 12 days, well, you already have developed symptoms and they can be severe at that time. So we're seeing that from the time of exposure to the time of symptoms developing is about 5 days. These are the more common symptoms that we see in severe and non-severe patients. We see fever, we see cough, we see fatigue, dyspnea, we see sputum production, shortness of breath. Shortness of breath is the defining symptom that truly gets you hospitalized. Shortness of breath, full body pain, myalgia, chills, dizziness, headache, sore throat, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and even nasal congestion. We're even seeing eye abnormalities. We're seeing patients with COVID-19 that have conjunctivitis. They have increased secretions. It's affecting every single organ and gland. That's the whole reason why you don't want to touch your T-zones. You don't want to touch your face. You don't want to touch your eyes. You don't want to touch your mouth. Now, if you are, for instance, in a public bathroom, which I would highly recommend that you not be in during this pandemic, and you touch something that someone had touched previously, because we know the studies show that it can live on surfaces, depending on if it's cardboard or steel or copper, for hours and days. And then you touch your eye, well, that is the entry point for this virus. So just walking into a public bathroom, the virus won't jump on you. You have to inoculate yourself through one of those openings, and that's why we ask that you not touch your face, your eyes, your mouth, your nose, your T-zone. So the coronavirus isn't alive. It really isn't. It's got to get into your body. It's got to get into your host to replicate, to duplicate. I mean, it can make over 10,000 copies within hours. I love this quote by one of the doctors at Johns Hopkins, and he really puts it in perspective of what the coronavirus is. The coronavirus actually breaks into your house. It eats all your food. It uses your furniture. It makes 10,000 babies. They trash your home and then they leave. That's exactly how you can think about this virus. Once it gets into your body, its goal really is not to kill you, but its goal is to replicate itself so that the virus can then be passed on to someone else. Unfortunately, if you pass away, it can't do that. So its whole goal is to replicate and to make other people very, very sick. So this is the slide that I was talking about, the adjusted fatality infection rate amongst confirmed cases. This just came out in our Lancet journal, that when they adjusted that fatality rate, it's for all ages, is actually less than 1%, which is a good thing. This is a study, and like I said, I'm coming from sources that are sound sources from the New England Journal of Medicine that talks about aerosol and surface stability. We know that this virus can last on shoes, it can last on plastic, it can last on cardboard, copper, and steel. That's why it's very, very important that when you go to the grocery store, that you don't walk into your house or any other place with your shoes on. You leave those outside your home, in the garage, or on the front porch. That's why it's important to wipe down frequently common surfaces in your home. It's important to wipe down your groceries, because people are in the grocery stores. They're killing me with these gloves that they have on. They are cross-contaminating everything. They're touching their face and they're touching their phone. It's just really annoying. I think gloves give people a false sense of security, but it's important to wipe down all those packages when you come from the grocery store. So why is SARS-CoV-2 spread so easily? Why is this COVID-19 spread so easily? Well, it spreads so easily because we all have these receptors on different parts of our body, specifically the lungs, called ACE2 receptors, that actually these spike proteins that the virus has attaches to. And when it does that, it can easily infect the lungs, the liver, the kidney, and this is the way that it is so easily transmittable. And then there's also studies that show the fecal oral transmission, right? You go to the bathroom, you don't wash your hands well. I've seen so many people come out of the bathroom and don't wash their hands well, and they're touching surfaces, they're touching doors, and then you go behind them and touch doors. So the fecal oral transmission is a real transmission. And we even see that the gut has a direct gut to lung transmission is real. So that's why it's important not only to wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap, but to keep your gut health in check, making sure that you have a good probiotic, making sure that you're not eating a lot of processed and fried food, because leaky gut allows toxins and bacteria to leak out of our gut and to attach into the lungs. So there is real science about soap. The virus has a fatty layer or a lipid layer. So when you use soap and water, you actually disrupt that lipid layer of the virus and you can kill the virus. So I can't stress enough how important it is to wash your hands for 20 seconds each time that you are touching surfaces, each time before you're preparing your meals, before you're eating, of course, after you use the bathroom, if you cough or sneeze, etc. Real important. Unfortunately, there is no treatment for coronavirus. There are some compassion drugs, chloroquine or hydrochloroquine. That's a drug that is used right now for lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, was also used for malaria, and Remdesivir which was used for Ebola. These are all compassion drugs, meaning that they're being used if you're real sick, you're in the ICU. There's no data that shows that these drugs are any better than placebo, but they are used in a cocktail right now with hydrochloroquine or Plaquenil and zithromycin. The compassion drugs are still in phases of study, but we do know that what's promising is checking for antibodies. There is a hospital in Westchester, New York, that is starting to use folks who have shown immunity. They've shown antibodies against the COVID-19, and they're taking that plasma from their serum, and they're actually going to start using that plasma from those who are immune as a treatment option. So really excited about that. We're looking in those antibody tests. The FDA has approved one company. We're looking for IgG, which is meaning that you're in a convalescent stage, that you've seen the virus, maybe had the infection. That's more chronic convalescent stage, and IgM, which is more acute, meaning that you may just be getting over the virus or your body has been exposed to the virus and now you're mounting antibodies. So this is just a picture of showing that this person is positive for IgM and IgG. I hope next week that I'm going to get tested, and I'm hoping that I will be positive for IgG and IgM. Right now, if you're testing yourself for COVID-19, that is a nasal pharyngeal swab where they stick the Q-tip in your nose back to your throat. Now that test will test if you're COVID-19 positive, but these new antibody tests will tell you if you have now mounted an immunity. But what's really exciting are the vaccines. The vaccines are in phase 1 right now stage. They've got to go through phase 2 and phase 3, but truly the vaccine, along with these antibody immunity tests, along with developments in drug treatments, is about probably 12 months to 18 months away. This is just a picture of the gear that I have to wear. Many healthcare professionals are wearing in the hospital, the PPE, droplet versus aerosol, right? Droplets mean that if you cough or laugh or sneeze, that it can potentially cause an infection if you are less than 6 feet away. That's why we use the 6 feet social distancing, is because of that. Now aerosols could be in the air. There's some studies in the air for 3 hours, meaning that, you know, you can cough, you can sneeze, and then you come behind someone that's done that and potentially have exposure to COVID-19 through aerosol, very, very small particles. That's why it's important to wear a mask when you are out and about. But the PPE combines shoe covers with a gown, typically double gloves, an N95 mask with a head shield as well for to cover your face. So let's get into some things that we can do, because remember, we can't control the virus, but we can control the host. And one thing is our diet. Proper diet enhances immunity. Poor diet impairs our immune defense. And so it's really quite discouraging seeing the lines, you know, at Chick-fil-A and Potbelly and McDonald's. And when you go to the store, you're seeing all of the potato chips and pop, all of those aisles are bare, just like the paper towels and toilet paper. You know, again, the time is now to build your defense, your immune system with a proper diet. So these are some of the foods that you can use to support your immune system. making clean eating a priority, eating wild smash fish, that's salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, herring, having a plant-based diet, getting lots of fruits and vegetables. If you're going to eat meat, make sure they're grass-fed meat. Making sure your fiber is high. High fiber diets decrease inflammation. Getting nuts and seeds, even chicken noodle soup. You know, that's a lot to what our grandma says with chicken noodle soup. Uh, Making sure your snacks are organic dark chocolate, herbs. We're going to talk about, you know, turmeric some more, ginger, turmeric, bone broth. Making sure that you're getting appropriate hydration with water, making sure at least half your body weight is with water, organic coffee and tea, oils, avocado, macadamia nuts, mushrooms, all of these things you want to include in your diet to support a very healthy immune system. Consider a time restrictive eating, doing some intermittent fasting. I wouldn't recommend fasting, but time restrictive eating, we'll talk about that. Getting sufficient sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep. Sleep is restorative for our immune system. There's folks out there that do a lot of ultraviolet light that helps to boost your immune system. Home exercise plan. I can't stress that enough. I work out almost every day at home, but it's a great way to reduce anxiety, to improve your immune system, and then making sure the humidity, keeping your humidity up at home to maintain a healthy airway and mucus. So there's different types of fasting. There's time restricted eating where you have a window of when you're eating. There's intermittent fasting, which I would do 1 to 3 times a week. I wouldn't do prolonged fasting at this point, but you know, restricting your eating between certain hours, they have shown through studies, does improve your immune system as well. This is a study out of the Nutritional Journal. I was so happy to see that these journals are looking at using and implementing healthy eating, supplementation with COVID-19 patients. Supplements, we talk about supplements that actually improve your immune system. Vitamin C, I mega dose on vitamin C right now. I do 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, zinc citrate, mixed mushroom complex, vitamin D3. You'll see studies that I'll talk about later where vitamin D deficiency is directly linked with poor outcome. Probiotics, the spore probiotics are good to take to help to boost your gut health. Liposomal glutathione, beta glucans, omega-3 fatty acids, and elderberry. Turmeric is a really great herbal supplement that has been shown in this study here to suppress the cytokine release or storm. The cytokine release or storm is something I think on this webinar you need to understand that happens when you are infected with COVID-19. It is what I'm going to call a immune response on steroids. Your immune response to infection is hyper exaggerated with COVID-19. So it is a recruitment of military, I'm going to call it, to put it into perspective, that is coming in and trying to fight off this virus. But then your body says, hey, this is something that is foreign. So your body causes this release of immune cells that should be defending your body, and it starts attacking your body. Now, some people are more genetically, they've even looked at some people with certain blood types. that are more genetically prone to even have an even more sensitive cytokine release. And so what turmeric does is it comes in, it helps to reduce these chemicals, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, tumor necrosis factor alpha. Turmeric comes in and blocks that hyperactive or steroid or immune response on steroids. So you want to have turmeric around. Turmeric is great for not only reducing inflammation, but reducing this cytokine storm. Vitamin C. New York hospitals are using IV vitamin C. They're using it like 1,500 milligrams 3 times to 4 times a day. And they have seen that patients have done significantly better with vitamin C infusions. Vitamin D. Vitamin D deficiency is seen in a lot of folks who develop a very, very deadly respiratory problem with COVID-19. It's called acute respiratory distress syndrome. And what they found is that those who developed this ARDS had vitamin D deficiency. So vitamin D supplementation is imperative to prevent acute respiratory tract infection. So this study was done in February of 2017. Again, when I give you this information, it's coming from sound studies. I'm just not pulling it out of the air. So you want to get on your vitamin D. Elderberry. Elderberry has had bad press. One study, I think it was out of France, talked about elderberry being bad, and ever since then, people are talking badly about elderberry. Elderberry is another herb that you want to be on, another supplement that has been shown to reduce that cytokine storm. It's been shown to reduce those interleukin 16s and 6. Folks, this is what's killing people. This cytokine storm, this release of these inflammatory cells on steroids are killing folks. So you want to be on elderberry as well. A lot of studies on elderberry. So we're going to get into our product line. We've talked about, natural and holistic approaches during this pandemic. We talked about how important diet is. We talked about different supplements, different herbs. We talked about the overall virus itself and how it can potentially attack every single organ, major organ in our body, our lungs, our liver, our kidneys, our eyes, and how contagious it is and how we can't control the virus, but how we can control the host. So we're going to move into our product lines here at Wakana to give you more to support your immune system. So our company is Wakana, and we launched our company April 20th. So this weekend, we're going to have our 1-year anniversary, and I want to invite each and every one of you to our anniversary party. And Wakana was brought into existence through the synergistic efforts and shared foundational values of 4 African-American women who believe that health, wealth, legacy, and freedom are gifts that belong to all people. These are our 4 co-founders. And again, I want you to join us this weekend. We are going to have an amazing lineup of speakers and teaching during our conference. And we're going to have a party on actual 420 as well. Melissa Boston is our CEO. She brings over 29 years of experience in direct sales. She's the visionary behind Wakana. She's a social media strategist. Dr. Patricia Van Pelt is our president. She's serving her 3rd year as a state senator here in Illinois. Again, she's also an entrepreneur, businesswoman. And Phyllis Nash, our senior VP of sales, brings over 30 years, again, of sales to Wakana. And then myself, Dr. Rita McGuire. I'm Chief Medical Officer. I'm an obstetrician gynecologist by trade. Truly am an advocate of holistic and natural approaches to health, as well as I am a cannabis advocate as well. So these are the 4 co-founders. So we're going to move into first essential oils. And again, like I said, I want to bring you science when I talk about essential oils as well. And this is a study out of the American Journal of Essential Oils and Natural Products. Now, again, we can't talk about any treatment for COVID-19 because there is none. But the study here shows that essential oils have been studied against viruses, right? Just being antivirus as a whole. So this study looked at influenza and the viral activity that essential oils have against the viral load in those who have influenza, which is our flu virus. This is another study that shows the antiviral activities. And like I said, during your downtime, since you're at home and shelter, you can look up these studies, you can do your due diligence, you can do your outside reading. Again, how essential oils have antiviral properties. They have antimicrobial properties, they have antibacterial properties, as well as antiviral properties. So having essential oils around is essential. And so our first product is our Essential Defense, and we just launched this product. So excited. It's a blend of cinnamon oil, lemon oil, clove bud oil, rosemary oil, and eucalyptus. And what I love about our essential oils is that they are all organic. They're all USDA essential oils, and there's so many ways that you can use this product. This product can be used topically on your skin. It can be used through your respiratory system, through your nose, through your lungs, and you can actually ingest this product. Now, what's important about this product is that because it contains some hot oils, those hot oils are cinnamon and clove and eucalyptus, you want to make sure that you always use a carrier oil. So we have an extensive explanation on the products, how to dilute when you're using this product. I specifically use this product in my diffuser so that the essential oils are in the air in my home. I also use this product, I take a drop and I put it in the palms of my hands and I rub my hands together and I use it as an aromatherapy and I just inhale the essential oils. Again, these essential oils not only have antiviral, but they have antibacterial properties. It's really important to know that because so many of the COVID-19 patients that we are seeing have co-infections with bacteria. It could be MRSA, it could be a bacterial pneumonia, as well as a viral pneumonia. Using it on your skin topically, again, you want to use carrier oils, organic MCT coconut oil or almond oil to use when you are diluting and using the product on your skin. You could also use this product, which I use it, to sanitize my home. You know, using all that bleach and harsh chemicals is not good. I know it's necessary, but I love using this, diluting it in a spray bottle with 1 or 2 drops. More is not better to sanitize kitchen counters and my home surfaces. So Essential Defense is essential during this pandemic time. Again, that's the application. It's redundant. You can use this product topically, on the skin, respiratory, ingestion, and you can also use it as a sanitizer in your home with diluting it with water. But again, I can't stress enough, when you're using it topically, when you're ingesting it, you want to use a carrier oil of MCT coconut oil or almond oil. Tea tree oil. Tea tree is anti-inflammatory, it's antibacterial, it's antimicrobial, it's antiviral, it's an antiseptic, and it's great against fungus. Love tea tree oil. The way you apply it is you can use it topically on your skin, and you can use it respiratory through our olfactory system, through your nose, through your lungs. This particular oil should not be used for oral consumption, but tea tree oil is a great essential oil during this pandemic as well. Black seed oil. Our black seed oil is amazing. Black seed oil improves the respiratory health. It's great for healthy hair, for skin health. It helps with inflammation. It helps with stiffness and with pain. Black seed oil also can be used different ways. It can be used topically on the skin. It can be used respiratory through our olfactory system. You can ingest it orally through your mouth. It's important, again, to use a carrier oil of organic MCT or organic almond oil. I love black seed oil. Black seed oil has been used to address methicillin-resistant Staph aureus in many hospitals. Black seed has also been used to help to improve those with type 1 and type 2 diabetes. It helps to rebuild the beta cells of the pancreas. Our eucalyptus provides relief from bronchitis. It helps very many studies, as you'll see in the studies that I mentioned before in those journals, has antiviral properties against influenza. It actually helps with chronic lung disorders like asthma. Eucalyptus is also good for the myalgia, the body aches that folks get when they get the flu, so muscular pains and aches. It's good for colds and headaches. The way you use eucalyptus, again, it can be used topically. It's a hot oil. You've got to use a carrier oil of MCT or almond oil. It can be used in the respiratory tract, through your olfactory system, through your nose, through your lungs, in your diffuser. But important to know that you must dilute it with carrier oils of your choice. Peppermint, I love peppermint because it helps to improve relief from sinuses and it helps with the respiratory infections. Infection of the mouth, of the throat, it helps with nausea. It actually helps with joint pain and it absolutely helps with irritable bowel syndrome. It's very soothing in those who have issues with the gut. Again, you can apply it through your olfactory system, through your nose, through your lungs. You can ingest it orally, but if you use it topically, you want to mix it with a carrier oil. Peppermint can be pretty hot, but I love peppermint in my diffuser. You know, I do a lot of quick diffusing, dropping a drop or two on my hands, rubbing it together, and inhaling. So as we move on to CBD, we want to talk about briefly CBD and its immune response to viruses. I can't stress enough is that when we talk about supplements, when we talk about essential oils, when we talk about CBD, we are not saying that these products can cure or prevent you from getting COVID-19, right? COVID-19 is a novel virus. That means we've never seen it before because it's novel, it's new, we're all susceptible in getting COVID-19. We're also saying that studies have already been done on essential oils, studies have been done on a lot of supplements and herbs, and even CBD that shows that it can have benefits to our immune response to viruses. So is CBD an antiviral for coronavirus, SARS, MERS, and influenza? Well, again, the FDA has not approved or tested CBD for coronavirus or CBD. We're going to be looking tonight at pathways that CBD affects on our immune response to viral infections, right? So let's first look at the plant, cannabis. The plant makes over 100 plus cannabinoids or compounds. The two most common are THC, that's a compound that gives us a high or the psychoactive portion of the plant, and CBD, which gives us the health benefits. It's non-psychoactive. CBD doesn't give you the high. It doesn't give you the paranoia or the euphoria. CBD can come from both species of the plant though. CBD can be from marijuana or it can come from hemp. But we are talking about CBD coming from the hemp species. CBD coming from marijuana is only products that you can get from dispensaries, either a medical marijuana dispensary or a recreational dispensary. CBD coming from the hemp species, which is legal on a federal level, are products that you can get from Wakana. So those are products that contain less than 0.3% or less of CBD, of THC, excuse me. So you can see CBD has a long list of benefits and medicinal properties. We're going to concentrate on the anti-inflammatory properties. We're going to concentrate on how CBD reduces the immune system. Because remember, folks, I said, when you get a COVID-19 infection, it is an immune response on steroids. It is your immune system thinking that there is an attack and your immune system is overactive. So CBD actually has been shown in studies. There's over 20,000 peer-reviewed studies that CBD comes in and reduces the hyperactivity of the immune system. And that's what we want around during this pandemic. So this is a slide that explains exactly this. We want to keep our immune system in balance, right? In balance. That's the optimal way that our immune system can fight off infection. And so when we have an immune system that is not performing well, those are cases, again, in folks who have an immunocompromised condition. They either have cancer or they're HIV positive, or they have some immunocompromised condition. Another area of when our immune system is not at its optimal is infections. It can be infections due to bacteria, mold, fungus, parasites, or viruses. Now, this particular virus, COVID-19, actually falls in the autoimmune problem. So it's an immune reaction that's overactive. And other autoimmune conditions are conditions like Hashimoto's, thyroiditis, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, inflammatory bowel disease, type 1 diabetes. Those are autoimmune problems along with COVID-19 where the immune system is crazy overactive. So we need to bring that down and in balance. Even food sensitivities, allergies, eczema, asthma, sinusitis, again, that's an immune system that we need to bring down into balance. And CBD has been shown to bring the immune system in balance. So these are some studies, again, that I'm sharing with you that show that the cannabinoids at CBD actually are anti-inflammatory activities and that they do help to bring those viruses and the inflammatory responses that viruses have on our body back in balance. This is another study that shows that cannabinoids like CBD help to reduce the viral replication and the inflammatory response during a viral infection. So you can look at these studies later. So I wanted to put this particular product with our CBD line because this First Defense nasal spray is our newest product, but it also contains CBD. It does contain a full spectrum CBD. A full spectrum CBD means that it contains not only CBD, but the other cannabinoids like THC, CBN, CBG. And we want to make sure that if you have random drug screens at your job, that this product is not a product you will be able to use because it's being placed in the nasal cavity and absorbed in the bloodstream. There's a potential that that small trace amount of THC can show up on your drug screen. So I do want to make that disclaimer. This is a nasal spray that also includes not only CBD, but also a nice amount of essential oils, including rosemary, cinnamon, basil oil, lemongrass, peppermint, eucalyptus, lavender, and clove. So I love this product because this product will work very quickly, and because it is being placed in the nasal cavity, which is close to your brain and your central nervous system, you don't need a lot. The absorption through the nasal cavity and the vascularity, the blood vessels in your nose, will cause the CBD to be absorbed at least 5 to 6 times than using a tincture that we'll talk about. So real easy application, tilt your head back, gently insert the nasal part into one nostril at a time. Don't snort, but just squeeze and gently inhale, breathing through your nose and out of your mouth. You want to make sure you don't blow your nose for at least 4 to 5 minutes so that it can truly become absorbed. Don't exceed more than 3 doses per day. This is a great, great defense to use during this pandemic to decrease not only the inflammatory, but to open up your lungs, your nasal cavity, and to have a defense against viruses. Now, our product lines, I'll talk specifically only tonight about products that really will enhance the essential oils, will enhance that good diet you guys are out there following, will enhance that exercise, the sleep you're getting, the hydration. This is a nice package of using all of these products because remember, we can't control the virus, but we can control the host. So we can control a lot of great organic products to approach this virus in a natural and a holistic way. So we have our power line. Again, our power line of CBD products contain the legal limit of THC, which is 0.3% or less. So if you have random drug screens at your job, I'm not sure how many people are still out there taking drug screens, but just know potentially that this small amount of THC can show up in your drug screen. We have other products for you. Our first product is our Hempranium tincture. It's also enhanced with black seed turmeric. There's that turmeric again, and peppermint. Those essential oils that we talked about that help to block that cytokine release, that cytokine storm, that inflammatory reaction on steroids, along with 500 milligrams of CBD. This product is taken under your tongue. You hold it there for 60 seconds before you swallow. And I like to start with 3 drops in the morning and 3 drops in the evening. Great, great way to boost that immune system. And then the second product is our water soluble. It's a product that you can infuse in your beverages, in your food. It's a great product when you're on the go. And then our third product is a product you can bake with. You're at home. You may want to bake some cookies or brownies or even cook with this product. It doesn't have the tincture. It doesn't have the black seed or turmeric or peppermint. It's unflavored. So it's a great way to bake and cook with. We ask that you not cook or bake above 350 degrees just because it causes you to lose the potency of the CBD. This can also be used as a tincture, so you can use this underneath your tongue as well. And then we have gummies. Our gummies are amazing because it's another way to decrease inflammation, boost that immune system during this pandemic. Gummies take about 45 to 90 minutes to get into the bloodstream. I meant to mention that those tinctures and water solubles, they take about 15 minutes to get into the bloodstream. But I love using gummies for sleep. You know, during this pandemic, lots of folks are anxiety. It's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of depression. There's a lot of uncertainty. I like using gummy every night before I sleep. Each gummy is 25 milligrams of CBD. They're vegan, they're non-GMO. They come in our Power, which is our full spectrum line, which has the legal limit of THC, which is 0.3% or less, or our Pure line, which is our broad spectrum line. That's that line again that you can use if you have random drug screens at your job. That's the white label. That's our Pure line. We also have a Pure tincture for those out there that have random drug screens. Our Pure tincture is powered again with the additional USDA essential oils of turmeric, black seed, and peppermint, along with 300 milligrams of CBD. And again, I always like to start low and slow, 3 drops in the morning and 3 drops in the evening. Again, this is a great combination with our essential defense, with our nasal spray, along with those certain supplements that we talked about, vitamin C, zinc, your probiotic for that good gut health, that exercise that you're doing at home at least 30 minutes, eating clean, and getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I can't stress it enough. We can't control the virus, but we can control our host. We can control what we're putting in our body right now. We can use a natural and holistic approach during this pandemic. I've showed you studies. I've documented the information that data has shown with essential oils, with CBD, with other supplements and herbs. Again, we're not saying that there is any sound data against COVID-19 because, again, it's a novel virus. We're still learning each and every day. But at this time, I'm going to take questions. If you have questions, you can put those in the chat box here. And let's see if there's any questions right now. You can put those questions right in the chat box if you have any questions. I want to make sure that you understand that whoever invited you on the call tonight, you want to make sure that you contact them so you can order these amazing products, and you can get information on our weekend 420 virtual conference and our 420 celebration. You want to be a part of that. It's going to be a lot of great knowledge. It's going to be a lot of great fun, and we're going to do that virtually. Okay, I see some questions coming in. Is the extreme defense okay for kids over the age of 7? Yes, so the extreme defense I would absolutely use in my household. So that would be for everyone. I would start out with making sure if you don't have a diffuser, to get a diffuser and put it in the diffuser in different areas of your home so it's in the air. You can also use, again, this extreme defense topically. You can use it respiratory by putting a drop on your hand, rubbing it together, and just letting folks in your family inhale the essential oils. And then again, using it around the house and sanitizing. When you're using it topically and orally, on our website gives you breakdown detail by detail, the dilution that you want to use with that carrier oil. You want to make sure that you use either MCT or almond oil as a carrier oil. Why? Because there are some hot oils in that essential defense, extreme defense, essential defense. Does taking CBD through your navel help leaky gut? No. Taking CBD through your navel does not help leaky gut. What helps leaky gut is your diet. So what happens in leaky gut is that toxins from poor diet, from processed food, from fried food, leaks through the capillary system and will directly start to transfer those toxins to your lungs, to your brain. There's a direct correlation of brain to gut, gut to brain health. There's a direct correlation to gut to lung health, and there's even direct correlation to gut to liver health. So the way that you improve your leaky gut is through taking a probiotic. I like Spore probiotics. You can get probiotics from your health food store. You can get them from Amazon. But you want to improve your gut health, with your diet as well. You want to improve your gut health with CBD, using it internally, not topically. And you want to make sure that you improve your gut health with those supplements that we talked about. Which products would you recommend for people with diabetes? Well, there's a lot of products that you can use to improve diabetes. One is starting with your diet. Diabetics need to be controlled with diets. You can change the trajectory of your health with your diet. So that is a plant-based diet, staying away from fried food, incorporating those good complex carbs, not a lot of carbs, from a lot of the fruits that are high in sugar. You want to make sure you incorporate black seed. It's an amazing essential oil that we have that helps reduce the insulin resistance. So it helps to rebuild the beta cells of the pancreas. So black seed, you definitely want to get on. And you want to get on our Hempranium 500. Those are great, great products for those who have diabetes. Are you supposed to feel anything when you use Essential Defense? My customer was expecting to feel something. No, you're not expecting to feel anything with the Essential Defense. It's actually, studies have shown that those essential oils actually help to address and boost your immune system. Studies have shown essential oils being very, very effective in viruses like influenza, viruses, bacteria as well. So no, you don't feel anything. As a supplement, how should you utilize turmeric? Is a tea enough, or should you have an actual supplement? So we have turmeric in all of our products. So your supplementation of turmeric has been satisfied. We have turmeric in our Hempranium 500, as well as we have those enhanced essential oils in our CBD product. If you want to supplement even more, there is teas that are out there. We are going to be coming out with our defense tea that has turmeric very shortly in the next week. You can supplement turmeric in capsules, and you can get a nice green tea, which I have at home, that has turmeric as well. Questions about how much carrier oil? All of the dilutional directions are spelled out. It's an exhaustive list of how to dilute with carrier oil. So you're going to go on our website and you'll see how to do that. So if you are a guest on the line, you want to make sure that you call the person that invited you on the line. Their website, we've put all the directions, very easy, explainable directions on how to dilute. The ratios are there of water to spray bottle. All of that is there. What products do you recommend for lactating women? Well, for lactating women, you want to make sure that lactating women are at risk of COVID-19 as well. So you want to make sure you get that essential defense in your home. You want to make sure that you're using that essential defense in your diffuser. You're using it in your home as well. So lactating women, please consult your physician before you're using CBD. You want to make sure that you do that. Just FYI, for those who have pets, be careful what types of essential oils you diffuse. Some of them affect animals adversely. Thank you for that. So a lot of questions you guys are asking about the cost. Again, the cost of all the products are on our website. So whoever invited you to this webinar, you want to make sure you contact them so that you can get those products ordered and you can get your cost. Okay, somebody wants me to discuss the cytokine storm and Enbrel for PSA for psoriatic arthritis. So, yes, so rheumatoid arthritis, a lot of people with lupus, psoriatic arthritis are on Plaquenil already. So that's why a lot of hospitals are using chloroquine or hydrochloroquine as part of the treatment option for COVID-19 patients, because you are on Plaquenil, because you may be already on these medications for psoriatic arthritis or lupus or rheumatoid arthritis does not make you immune, does not make you immune to this virus. This virus is a novel virus. We have not seen this virus. Hello, my name is Tarika. I'm a nurse and I'm currently taking atenolol and Xanax for my anxiety and depression. I take elderberry, vitamin C, zinc, multivitamin. I recently bought the Hempranium and also the gummies. Due to lately, I'm assuming I've been extra stressed. Diastolic number has been running low in the 90s. I eat a clean diet, but I don't exercise. Will the tinctures and gummies affect the meds I'm taking? Great question. So if you are on medication, you want to make sure that you are taking your medication as prescribed, and then you want to take your CBD an hour later after taking your medications. I've seen in my practice that CBD has been very effective in lowering blood pressure. So you want to make sure that you are monitoring your blood pressure. I've had to titrate my patients down on medications for blood pressure, for diabetes, because we know that CBD is a vasorelaxant. That means it helps to dilate vessels, it improves blood pressure, it helps to improve diabetes. It's a anti-diabetic, helps to improve blood sugar. So you want to make sure that, yes, you are monitoring your blood pressure. You want to make sure that you get in at least 20 to 30 minutes of exercising at home, jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, um, mountain climbers, high knees, squats. You know, make up your own little routine. Pretend like you have a jump rope. But getting in that exercise not only improves anxiety, but it helps to also produce those endogenous cannabinoids that our body produces. So you want that on board. So it sounds like you are taking great supplements. Make sure that you intake that water. Your water should be at least half your body weight, but if you're exercising every day like myself, you want to get in more water because you're losing a lot through your sweat. Well, great. Thank you. Those are all the questions. If you have additional questions, I will put my email down here. I think my email is ritamd@wakana.com. You can shoot me over questions as you see fit. It's ritamd@wakana.com. That's my Wakana email. You want to shoot those over. You want to contact the person that invited you on the call so you can get your products ordered. I want to thank you again for joining us this webinar. We hope to see you this weekend for our virtual 420 conference and our virtual 420 party. We are going to have an amazing time. Please be safe. Please stay sheltered. Please wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Please order these very, very amazing products to help to defend, because again, we can't control this virus, but we can control our host. Make it an amazing night, and we will see you very soon.